Invisible ink has been around for thousands of years. In times of war, prisoners would write messages to each other, using whatever they could to secretly communicate. And unfortunately, sometimes desperate times called for desperate measures. But don't worry before you start filling a cup with your own wee or blood or other bodily fluids. Today, we're going to be making invisible ink using lemon juice. To make invisible ink, all we need is some lemon juice, a paintbrush or some cotton swabs, a piece of paper, and a heat source. You could use a hair straightener, a light bulb, or a flame. Then, write your message and then let it dry. And when you want your message to be revealed, simply heat the paper and watch the magic happen. Now, it might look like magic, but it actually works because of some simple science. Paper is an organic material. This means that it contains lots of carbon atoms bonded to lots of hydrogen atoms. Some of these are also bonded to oxygen and form a long chain molecule called cellulose, which is a type of sugar. When cellulose breaks down and some of the carbons are exposed to oxygen in the air, they turn brown. This is why old newspaper or books are sometimes discoloured, because the cellulose in the paper has been oxidized. But what does any of this have to do with invisible ink? And why did you have to pee in a cup? Excellent question. Now, lemon juice or urine are both acids. So when we put the acid on the paper, the cellulose begins to break down into smaller and simpler sugar units. The oxidation process, even with the acid, is still incredibly slow. So to us, the paper looks normal. But at a molecular level, a slight change can be observed. Let's think of the paper with the ink as being tissue paper, and the paper without the ink as being cardboard. When we think of it this way, the same amount of heat applied to two different materials, it's not surprising that we'd get different results. With the tissue paper, not as much heat is needed before it starts to turn brown and burn. Whereas with the cardboard, much more heat is required before it too begins to oxidize and turn brown. This is why the secret message turns brown before the rest of the paper. So while invisible ink may not be magic, it does use some pretty cool science, and with a few basic ingredients, you could be writing your own secret messages in no time. Thanks for joining me here at the Science Lab. Till next time.